Alright, we're back, and she's about to cook up the filet mignon.
Yeah, I season it with Canadian or Montreal steak seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite seasoning. I put it on everything besides steak. And we're gonna heat up the stove a little bit right now. Get the frying pan hot enough. And that's beef and sausage.
Okay.
Sausage grease from breakfast. And again, because it's yellow, because I sprinkled the turmeric on the eggs, and that's why it turned the grease kind of yellow. But it's all good. So you want to heat it up to where when you put your meat in it, it would sizzle. So that means that you are searing the steak. It doesn't have to be super high, but you don't want to slow cook your steak either. And in this way, like I said before, 2 minutes on one side, flip it over for 2 minutes, and that steak is done. So let's see. It's not showing any signs. And also, other professional chef says that if you start seeing glistening streaks in your pan, then that means the oil is hot enough. But I guess mine is not hot yet. But another way to test it is, oh, it's hot.
Sounds hot to me.
And I put it on the medium high. And I put cover on it. And the reason I put the cover on everything I cook is because, number one, it saves energy. It cooks faster. And number two, it keeps from splattering all over your house and keep the smell and the grease down to a bare minimum. And then you can listen to the sound to know that if you need to turn it up a little bit higher or a little bit lower. That's one thing that we need to do today, is to learn how to enjoy the cooking and enjoy your own cooking, because you know exactly what you put in. You know, to me, anything that don't require washing, cutting, and cooking and seasoning it, then you probably shouldn't eat it. You know, and I'm not saying that you should not ever eat convenient stuff, but the thing is, save those for emergencies, when you don't have time to cook, when you know, or what people would call when the fecal matter hits the fan. I don't know about you, but for me, I was born into a storm. You know, grow up, don't have parents to watch out for me, have no other family member look out for me, and lived in a house that has no indoor plumbing, and never know when my next meal is going to come from, and no toilet paper. I tell you, I'm afraid of everything. I have fear of running out of toilet paper, I have fear of running out of money, and I have fear of running out of money. So I make them last. So anyhow, now let's flip it over and cover it back up again.
And again, you'll be making pretty much the whole meal out of this one pan, right?
Yes, yes. You may see that I got a couple other pans up there, but these are actually old. Instead of throwing away, I use them to steam things, you know, steamed chicken, steamed eggs, you know, instead of toss it out because it's still useful. And now this one, if it wants to start to stick a lot or whatever, this one I probably will toss it away. Or you can make it into a, how you call it, over the fire smoker. That you want something quick smoke. Yeah, I have not learned how to do that yet, but I might try it someday. So we can look at it. And we only been about a minute after we turn over, but it looked like cooking pretty quickly, so I could turn the heat off and let the remaining heat finish cooking it without overcooking it. And I don't think I want to overcook it because I need it a little bit more on the rare side. This one is a little bit thinner, so that will be for me. And this one is a little bit thicker, that will be for you.
Oh, thanks.
And now, we use the leftover pan grease and juice and put a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Mix it in. And put a pat of butter in there to make balsamic butter sauce, pan sauce. And some people probably would say, oh, you do it all wrong. Well, you know what? In this case, however it works for you. Some things I'm not too stickler about, however it's done. If it looks good to you, it works for me.
If it looks good, tastes good, it works.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this time I think the pan was still too hot, so instead of making a creamy butter sauce, now I got it rendered almost like a clarified butter instead. But that's alright. It will work still. Alright, now we're going to cook the asparagus. Turn the heat up. And these rendered free fat from the grocery store. And the fat that I render from the store, the fat from the grocery store, is that sometimes depends on the jar and depends on the lid. They don't always seal. So what I do is that every so often I'll go to my stash and tap on the jar to see if they lost the vacuum. And if they lost the vacuum, I put those jars in the refrigerator and those be the first to be used. Alright. My favorite shrimpy.
These are dried shrimp?
Dried young baby shrimp. And then that's chopped garlic and homegrown cayenne pepper that never turned red. Some shredded carrots and celery. That is not necessary, but we like it. And lots of chopped green onion. And I also like to have a squeeze of anchovy. And if you use anchovy fillet, 1 or 2 fillet would work. Depends on your taste.
And I gotta tell you guys, you don't taste any type of fishiness. This actually is just an enhancer for the flavor, for the actual flavor of the whatever you're cooking to come out, and what they call umami. And it is great.
I know one time I made some green onion pancake. Well, I was trying to make some green onion pancake, and out of the blue, I decided to chop some anchovy fillet into and mix it into it and make the pancake. And I gave it to our downstairs neighbor to try. Well, the husband wasn't home, and the wife was home, so she said, "Well, I'll try it," you know. So she took a couple of bites and she said, "Oh, this is good. What you put in it?" I said, "Well, green onion." "Oh yeah, I could taste that." Then I say, "And chopped anchovy," and she go, "Ew!" She stopped eating, and the husband got to eat the rest of them, and he was happy.
Mm-hmm.
So next time, she always complained how she does not like vegetable, and I told her, I say, the way in America how we cook the vegetables, I say, no wonder nobody likes to eat vegetables. I wouldn't eat them either. And so one time I make some, I think it was zucchini. I stir fry some zucchini, and of course I put the anchovy in there. And this is like maybe a week or 2 later, so I bought her a bowl of zucchini, and first she said, "Did you put sardines in there?" I said, "No, I did not put any sardines in there." She's like, "You're not lying to me, are you?" "No, I didn't put any sardine." And then so I said, "Okay." So she started eating it, and she said, "Oh my God, these are such a good tasting zucchini she ever had." And she ate the whole thing. And then afterwards she asked me, "You didn't put sardine, did you?" I said, "Of course I did not put sardine. Who in their right mind will put sardine in there?" I said, "But I put anchovy." And she gave me the look, but she couldn't say, she could not stop eating because she didn't eat them all, you know. And then she wound up liking my stir-fried vegetable after that. So this is pretty much probably already done, but it'll be on the crispy side. And a little bit soy sauce just for the coloring again. And I'll taste one to see. Oh yeah, it's done. It's on the crispy side, but it's cooked. Turn the heat off, and just a little bit of hondashi. And that's another fish flavor basically, but you wouldn't know it if nobody told you.
Just look how easy that is. one pan has already made 2 items.
It's like this. Things are happening around the world. You know, when the virus hits our country, and things start to go scarce, and you have to learn how to cook from home because a lot of the restaurants are closed or whatever. And if they could do that to us one time, they could do that to us another time. Where when you go to stores and then there's no toilet paper, no canned goods, no meat, this could happen again. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of food at home that you could cook up. Learn to cook with everything that you could find. And don't say, I don't like this, I don't like that. Not saying that you are not allowed, you must like everything, but there's things that I don't like. But I would expand my my taste bud beyond what I normally like, just so that if something happened, I could rely on other things that I may not like. And if you could grow your own vegetables, that's even better. We're not very good at it yet, but
we're getting there.
But we keep trying.
Because I just picked these today, which are long beans and bitter melon, and here's some of the peppers
that kind of dry out
that we've dried out.
Okay, now.
And now you're about to make what?
Some of the sugar snaps that we got marked down at the grocery store. They look a little less appetizing now because I didn't feel well the last few days, so I didn't cook it. So now they look really bad, but we still need to eat it because we're not wasting anything. Again, garlic and my hot pepper. Well, our hot pepper. And a little shrimp. And then a little bit of anchovy paste. The shrimp and the anchovy paste is optional. You don't have to have them. I just happen to like them myself. And you too, right?
Yes.
And chopped green onion.
But no sardines.
No sardines. But though, my mom managed to find some sardines at the Walmart that actually turned out to be actually quite good. It's I think it's
a pretty good price too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, like $1.67 for like 16-ounce can or something like that. Shredded carrots. That is way too much, but it won't last another two days in the refrigerator, so I'm just going to cook it all out. Couple teaspoons, not teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon of salt.
Now most people would break these apart just to get the...
No, not the sugar snap.
Not the sugar snap?
No, this is what you're talking about. Regular peas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is sugar snap. The only reason you see peas like in there is because the pods is going really bad. But I didn't want to waste the peas, so I picked the peas out and let the chickens have the pot. All right. Let's cover it and stay right there, and I'll show you what the shrimp, the shrimpies look like in its original package. Be right back. So this says pink shrimp skin. That's what it says in Chinese, but in English it says dry shrimp. And as you can see, they are very small, and they come. This is the largest package they come in that I could find is 10 ounce, and this package costs like around $8, and it's expensive, but you only use a pinch at a time. You know, a small pinch, a big pinch, whatever. But one of these, you know, I try to cook almost every day, at least 3-4 times a week. And I almost always use it. And one pack lasts me a few months. So, you know, it's well worth it. And especially when you don't have meat to enhance the flavor of your cooking, then that actually comes in even more handy. So there you go.
And these you keep in the freezer, right?
Yes, I keep in the freezer. And when I open the pack, I would put in a small container so that I could put in the refrigerator for everyday use, and the rest go back into the freezer. Ooh, glistening. The sugar snap because it is sweet, so it's somehow that you know you have to put just a little bit more salt or soy sauce to balance that sweetness. So we put a little bit of that, a little hondashi. And that's it. Messy?
Yeah, we're at home, so we're not worried about plate being messy.
I think that's enough, don't you?
Yeah, well, we can always come back for more if we need to.
So that's our typical meal. 1 meat and 2 different vegetables. Try to stay away from carb as much as we can. Bon appetit.